Yeah. Hello, Facebook, YouTube. Uh, I, a lot is being said today. Lots going on about the Second Amendment and the First Amendment. Lots being said in a negative manner about such empowerments of the American people. The one thing that I want to do for you today is to read to you the Second and First Amendment in a way that you'll understand its purpose to begin with. The Constitution doesn't allow rights. It doesn't allow them. It acknowledges the basic human rights of the American people that are in the world. Basic human rights are basic for everyone. Not everyone follows after the basic human rights. But our Constitution was written to empower the American people to pursue their basic human rights. It's an acknowledgement of it, and I hope that you'll understand it when I read this to you and kind of explain it to you in a way that maybe a lot of other people don't. But I hope you'll give me your ear for just a few minutes here, and I hope it'll be a blessing to you and a strength to you as you move forward into your future. So I'm going to read this and explain it as it was intended to be understood. And this is how it was intended to be understood. By the way, my ancestors fought in the Revolution to establish this, so I'm speaking on their behalf as well. This is for you. This is for them. And this is for future generations. You know, I'm just a regular guy. But I think for some reason you need to hear this. Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know, but I hope that this will bless you. So I'm going to read it. All right, the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. What does that mean? Well, it means exactly what it says. This is a basic human right that shall not be infringed, ever. What shall not be infringed? The right of the people to keep and bear arms. The right of the people to keep and bear arms. That's what shall not be infringed. That's what it means. The people's right to defend themselves and their families and their country with proper weaponry is constitutional, but it's also a basic human right. But what is the purpose of it? What's the purpose? Why is it so important for the people to keep and bear arms? Why is it so important that it shall not be infringed? Being necessary to the security of a free state. Self-explanatory. The right of the people not being infringed is necessary. It's necessary to the security of a free state. And what does that mean? That means freedom. Maintaining freedom has always been at the point of arms, at the point of bayonets. The taking of freedom has always been at the point of arms and bayonets. The world is not a safe place. It never has been, and it never will be as long as we're in charge, as people are in charge. People mess up. People get greedy, especially elite people, people in government, people in monarchies, people in socialist societies, communist societies, capitalist societies. People get greedy. They get excessively greedy in government. And the one thing that you can count on about government is that government that gets too big is too big. And it causes a lot of problems, and it causes a lot of suffering for its people. But don't ever expect government to stand down from being too big. They are determined to trample on you. Okay? You can always expect that. But in order to maintain, or in order for security of a free state, it takes the people to defend a free state. It takes the people to desire the free state. A free state, our soldiers in the military, they stand up for it. They fight for it. They dedicate themselves to the security of the free state. The last resort of maintenance of that security, the last resort that's necessary to do that, is a well-armed people. The nation itself must be a military. And that's to the end of this, what this is about, that even though we use our arms to protect ourselves and our families, we also have the right and the responsibility to protect our state. And that's border to border. That's the United States. Okay, but why is it necessary to the security of a free state? Well, it says a well-regulated militia. Some people seem to want to think that militia means the National Guard, or militia means the military. No. The militia is the people. The people are the last bastion, the last resort to the security of this free state. That's why it's so necessary that the people have the right to keep and bear arms. And to be well regulated as a militia means we know how to shoot our guns. We must know how to shoot our weaponry, so we need to train. Just in case that it comes to the point that we have to defend our republic. Now I want to read you the First Amendment, which entails the responsibility of our government, what their direct responsibility is. Congress shall make no law. Did you hear that? Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Our lawmakers don't have the right to interfere in a person's religion. Your faith is your faith, and your right to exercise that faith is constitutional. This isn't an allowance. This is an acknowledgement of what Congress's responsibility is. Or abridging the freedom of speech. Congress can't make a law that abridges the freedom of speech. That's censorship. You can't censor speech. You have no constitutional authority to do it. Or of the press. Let's just hope that the press loves freedom and stands up for the Constitution. Otherwise, they're bankrupt morally. But Congress can't make a law against the press. Congress shall make no law. That's what it says, First Amendment. First thing it says in our Constitution, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble. People can protest. People can speak out against what they believe is wrong. And to petition the government for a redress of grievances. In other words, if the government makes a law that aggrieves the people, then the people have a right to seek redress of that and to correct Congress for what they've done wrong. Now, the First Amendment was never intended by our founding fathers to undermine the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment wasn't intended to undermine the First Amendment. The Second Amendment was written by our fathers, our founding fathers. It was written so that we could enforce the First Amendment, that the government shall make no law that abridges anything that's listed in the First Amendment. It wasn't intended to be used as a tool to undermine the Second Amendment. Also, the Third and Fourth and Fifth and so forth amendments, neither the first one nor the second one was intended to undermine them. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 articles written in the Constitution of the United States. They were written to acknowledge the basic human rights of the American people. But I do want to say this to the young people today, that this is your inheritance. It's your responsibility to guard it and stand up for it and enforce it into the future. I'm the old guard. I'll be dying out. I'm 61. I'm not going to make it. But you have life that extends past mine. And you need to stand up for this. And you need to defend this properly. Defend it with the First Amendment. Defend it with the Second Amendment. Defend it with the Third, Fourth, Fifth. Defend your Constitution, because those are your basic human rights acknowledged after the founding of our country. Our founding document is the Declaration of Independence. And I don't think I need to say any more than what the title says. America is the Declaration of Independence. That's what America is. That's what the United States is. But I do want to say this, that those rights that you destroy today, you won't be able to access those rights tomorrow. For over 200 years, people have been swearing allegiance to defend and support this Constitution. Soldiers, citizens, public officials, cops, everybody took an oath to support and defend this. So what does that mean? They took an oath not to break it. They took an oath not to break the First Amendment, Second Amendment, any amendment. They took an oath. So just remember, those rights that you destroy today, if that's what you choose, you won't have access to them tomorrow. God bless the Constitution. God bless the Second Amendment. God bless the First Amendment. God bless the United States of America. God bless the American people. This is your inheritance. Defend it.